When a stone hits a glass window and shatters it, we see a sequence of events. We observe the stone's flight and the glass breaking, and our brains instantly link them. But look closer. You can see the object and the result, yet the actual causality connecting them is invisible. Is that link a physical fact of the universe, or a mental habit our brains use to make sense of the noise? Philosophers call these invisible organizational tools categories. The term comes from the Greek kategoria, an ancient legal word for a charge or accusation. In philosophy, it defines the most basic concepts through which we describe everything that exists. Aristotle provided the first comprehensive map of these concepts. He identified 10 categories, such as quantity, quality, and, most importantly, substance, believing they were objective structures built into the physical fabric of the world. For centuries, we accepted this Aristotelian view, that we are passive spectators classifying an external reality that exists exactly as we see it. In the modern era, the focus changed. Thinkers moved past asking what things exist and began investigating the mechanism of knowledge itself. Immanuel Kant initiated a Copernican revolution in epistemology, arguing that the mind functions as an active architect of experience rather than a passive recipient of data. Kant proposed that categories are a priori concepts, built-in cognitive filters native to the human mind. They are the pre-installed software that allows us to process the world before we even open our eyes. Without this internal sorting mechanism, our perception would fail. Raw sensory information would remain a chaotic, disconnected stream of impressions with no meaning or structure. This architecture consists of 12 categories divided into 4 functional pillars. Each acts as a specific lens through which we view reality. Quantity uses unity, plurality, and totality to see one tree, recognize several, or conceive of an entire forest. Quality involves reality, negation, and limitation to distinguish specific degrees of heat from cold. Relation provides substance and causality, tracking an object's enduring identity through time and linking events as cause and effect. Finally, modality defines how something exists, separating what is possible from what is actual or necessary. However, these categories only apply to phenomena, the world as it appears to us. They cannot reach the noumena, or things as they exist independently of our senses. This means human knowledge has a fixed boundary. We are seeing a reconstruction generated by our own cognitive operating system, while the raw reality beneath remains forever out of reach. Kant's shift away from objective reality changed the trajectory of philosophy, ending the era of the passive observer. Hegel later argued that these categories aren't fixed or permanent. Instead, he saw them as a dynamic logic that develops through human history, evolving as our collective understanding grows. Martin Heidegger took a different path, focusing on existential categories. He moved away from classifying objects to map the structures of human experience itself, such as our relationship with time and the way we care for our surroundings. By the 20th century, the focus had shifted from what things are to the core structures of existence itself. Modern analytic philosophers like Bertrand Russell moved categories into the realm of language. They focused on how logical types and levels of language organize our thoughts. This perspective suggests that our linguistic labels and logical rules define the boundaries of the world we inhabit. We began this history trying to classify the physical universe, only to find that we were actually mapping the internal architecture of the human mind. Our logical, linguistic, and existential frameworks function as mirrors. In observing the universe, we are witnessing the internal mechanics of our own thought.